basketball royalty and has earned its status as the state's premier program. Notre Dame of West Haven is elite in its own right, looking to cement its place among the best and avenge a heartbreaking one-point loss to East Catholic in last year's championship game. Two of the state's best start down their road to greatness. Who will find the trip smooth and who will make an early exit? We find out. It's East Catholic and Notre Dame, powerhouse versus powerhouse. It's the Day Holiday Classic at the Mohegan Sun, and it is live on game day.
Two powerhouse programs in an elite arena, undefeated, looking for revenge. What better way to create a classic? And it's the Day Holiday Classic here at Mohegan Sun, and it's all on Game Day, live on theday.com. Game Day is brought to you by Ambassador Limousine. With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeur transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com. Casey O'Neill, along with edition #1 for the year, some new faces, the coach, Chris Giusti. It is an absolute pleasure to have you, and what a great way to open up.
Pleasure for you, pleasure for me. Is it Christmas? Is it December 25th? Man, not only opportunity to be on the best high school broadcast in the state of Connecticut, probably in the Northeast, but also to watch 3 fabulous games. We're going to see the rematch of the Double L final, and man, there's some great athletes out there.
We're looking forward to it. Now listen, when we bring in someone of your status, we can't just stop there. We got to take it up a notch even farther, so let's welcome another new member of our broadcast team, George Hathaway. Take it away, George.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here today. And this is a heavily anticipated matchup between East Catholic and Notre Dame. I was able to speak to both head coaches prior to tip-off here today. Both teams are very excited to be playing at Mohegan Sun Arena. There's no better place to play like it. I also spoke to Coach Shea from Notre Dame, and he said the rematch will be coming in March between these two teams in the playoffs coming up in just a few months. So a lot of great basketball here today at Mohegan Sun Arena, and we're going to send it back to you guys at the booth.
Thank you, George. I'm going to have to turn I brought the hat, but I'm going to have to turn my sartorial game up a notch between you and George. I think that's a pretty bold statement, but I think it's an accurate statement, too. These are two of the elite teams. They're poised for a rematch. If you look at their early season scores, these two teams have not been challenged. They've run everybody right out of the gym. If you're used to seeing ECC basketball, you're going to see in the next level of athleticism in basketball with these two teams.
Yeah, you'll see a bunch of guys that'll be playing at the next level today, and they're going to be playing hard. It's a 4 o'clock game. The crowd is still filtering in, but these two teams know love lost. So the rematch might be coming in March, but right now the rematch is today.
So, of course, this is the first of 3 games today, the rematch. It's all about rematches today. St. Bernard's and Hand follows at 6 o'clock, and then the nightcap tonight, NFA and New London. But, it's not lost, and it should be mentioned, that East Catholic is not only no stranger to Mohegan Sun, they might actually have a little piece of the parquet with them back at the school, because if they win today, they will tie Mohegan Sun royalty, the Waterford Lancers, with 5 victories on this floor. The other 4 came via the state championship. Of course, Dunham and Klingen had something to say about getting their 5th last year. But they've got 4. They're looking for 5 here at the Sun.
Yeah, and Coach Riley, speaking to Coach Riley earlier this week, he doesn't take it for granted. He says, yeah, you want to win a championship. That's the goal every season. But it's also about creating moments for your team and getting an opportunity to play on this court. What a moment.
Well, we're going to get a chance to see all kinds of spectacular athletes, players, basketball, royalty, and a great venue. So stay tuned for 3 games today. It's going to be a long and exciting day. But when you think of the ECC and you think Mohegan Sun and you think basketball, you think Bill Glennie, the PA announcer. Let's send it to Bill.
For the 2022 The Day Holiday Classic, Game number 1 tonight features a pair of unbeaten sides as the Green Knights of Notre Dame West Haven take on the East Catholic Eagles in a rematch of last year's Division I championship game. Your officials tonight, Mr. Tim Viveras, Mr. Anthony Malhot, and Mr. Greg Keith. Before we get to tonight's starting lineups, I would direct your attention to the Jumbotron as the day and game day introduce tonight's players.
Matt Picota, St. Mary's of Milford.
Akeem Jackson, him in the middle.
Makai Connor, Elm City Middle School.
Ali Laminu, Highwood Charter.
Tamari Gay, Blackwell Middle School.
Jaden Jackson, Bailey Middle School.
Tim Swanson, St. Mary's Milford.
Junior Habimana, Shelton Middle School.
Landon Krieger, Adams Middle School.
Nick Purcell, North Haven Middle School.
Teray, Edgewood Magnet School.
Colin Garrettson, Hamden Middle School.
Tajay Jones, Williams Middle School.
Quincy Dornville, Warren Sheridan Middle School.
Preston Fowler, Lightskin Academy.
Luke Riley Jr., Big Guard University. James Jones, Hardhaven, New Britain.
Mason Cottrell, aka Wings, Takeoff Academy.
Ryan Farley, Splash University.
Rob Elliott, Riz Academy.
Samson Riley, Let It Fly Elementary.
Yaya Rodriguez, You Are Your Own Academy.
Theo Perkins, Playmaker Academy.
Omar Quendo, R2D Academy.
Jeremiah Jackson Sherman, Lockdown Academy.
Josh Harris, Big Guard Academy.
JJ Hay, Shoe Plug Academy.
Leandro Sanchez, Junkyard Academy.
Braden Jones, Big Guard Academy.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet your starting lineup. Playing out of the SEC, Notre Dame West Haven opened its season with a convincing win over Brantford and gets right back into action tomorrow as they host Jonathan Law. The Green Knights are led by head coach Jason Shea, sporting the classic black jerseys with green and gold lettering. Let's make some noise for your starting five. Starting at guard, a 6'3" senior number 2, Akeem Jackson Jr. Starting at guard, a 6' senior number 3, Makai Connor. Starting at guard, a 6'3" senior number 5, Tamari Gray. Starting at forward, a 6'4" senior number 10, Jaden Jackson. And starting at forward, a 6'7" junior number 22, Tajay Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the Eagles of East Catholic. Out of the CCC, runaway wins over Avon and Middletown sends them to 2-0 on the year with a crosstown battle at Manchester looming on Thursday night. Sporting the traditional white jerseys with blue numbers, they are coached by Mr. Luke Riley. Let's introduce your starting five. Starting at center, a 6'6" sophomore number 0, Preston Fowler. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior number 1, Luke Riley. Starting at forward, a 6'4" senior number 3, James Jones. Starting at forward, a 6'4" senior number 10, Rob Elliott. And starting at guard, a 6'1" junior, number 11, Samson Riley. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, it's time for some freshly squeezed juice. The keys to the game are brought to you by the Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut, located at 161 Water Street in downtown Norwich. Coach, what do you see?
For East Catholic, Casey, travel at the speed limit. Don't get sped up by the Notre Dame pressure. Play your game and execute. Can't teach height. Use the size and length advantage to pass over the pressure and create opportunities down low. And no ordinary Jones. When in doubt, go to your big man, James Jones, a bona fide D1 inside-out threat. For Notre Dame West Haven, hungry like the wolf. Create havoc and turnovers with tenacious defense. Use the athleticism to outwork and out-hustle East. And keep Jack in the box. Don't jack those threes early. Last year, they took a bunch of them, 4 of 21 from three-point land, including a quarter they dominated in the first. So try to keep that three-point shot under control. And finally, stay in arm's length. You can't let East get a big lead. They're some of the masters of milking the clock.
Well, we're ready to tip it. You got Notre Dame in the black and green with the gold trim, looking very much like the Notre Dame. And, of course, East Catholic in the white and blue will be jumping it up. Tajay Jones will jump for Notre Dame. Preston Fowler wins the tip for East Catholic, and they'll have the first possession. Of course, they will be methodical and very disciplined. Good defense in the early going. Notre Dame, a lot of length out there for the Green Knights. They can really defend at the rim, but they're also very tough on the perimeter. Kick out, baseline drive. Cutter, floater misses by Fowler, and he gets his own rebound, and there's your first two of the game. The sophomore, Preston Fowler, in the paint.
Both teams playing man-to-man early.
Three-pointer straight away, back iron, no good from Jackson. Rebound and looking to run. Jones pushes. Nice dump down to Fowler. Can't finish, but rebound underneath. Blocked is Elliott. He'll kick it up top. Three straight away, no good, and there's a strong rebound. And pushing the other way as Tajay Jones went and got it.
One of the things about playing at Mohegan, that three-point line, there's two of them. So a lot of times kids will pull that three-pointer.
Step back three off the rim, no good from Connor. Depth perception, you hear a lot of kids talking about their first few shots here. Takes a little while to get used to the stands and the crowd and the depth. Riley picks up his dribble. We're going to get a walk on Samson Riley. The brothers Riley turning it over that time for East. Notre Dame will have its possession. Still looking to get on the scoreboard here, down 2-0.
Yeah, classic first round of a big-time fight. Both teams feeling each other out.
Mackay Connor, senior guard, works off a screen. Notre Dame wants to get out and push and run. East Catholic's done a nice job not allowing that so far through a combination of help defense. They haven't really let Notre Dame settle in. There's a long three. Good. Mackay Connor knocks down a long triple. Oh, nice look. I think that was to Jones. Instead, out to the wing, three-pointer, no good. Rebound, and here's Notre Dame. They want to push. They're going to have to step up out on Connor. Another three. Nothing but the bottom of the net, knocking it down. Tamari Gay.
So much for keeping Jack in the box. They're coming out firing.
Kick out, three. knocking it down, Luke Riley, and that'll get a 6-5 now. Notre Dame on top. So 3 threes out of the 4 baskets. The modern game is showing itself.
Both teams seem really comfortable on this floor right now.
Notre Dame does not seem like they have much in the way of an inside presence. They're just knocking down threes. Another from Tamari Gay. Fowler up top now. Baseline drive by Elliott. Tries to bull his way to the basket. Good defense. Notre Dame will push.
Both teams are in great position on defense, and there's so much height and length. And I think really the only shots available right now are from the perimeter.
You know, these teams, you know, unchallenged really in their early matchups. This is the first time that a drive like that results in defense like that at the rim. Floating in the air. Oh! Makai Connor hanging. Jones for 3, no good. Rebound Connor, and you can see why Makai Connor's got those D1 looks. Goes right into the hands of Jackson. Gay, step back, he'll dump to Connor. Strong bully move, and the tip, no good. Tajay Jones couldn't get it to go. Now Jones pushing for East Catholic. Oh, what a great look to Fowler underneath.
And there's the inside-out ability of Jones. He's 6'6", handling the ball, dropping dimes down low. That's why he's a Division I prospect.
Well, we just the maturity in his body from 2 years ago when we saw him, and even last year, he has put on definitive size. He was a string bean. You know, he was all gangly. Now he is a muscular, 6'6". We're going to get our first subs into the game. Notre Dame is going to send Ayo Amino into the game. East Catholic's going to send Leandre Sanchez into the ball game. Also into the game is Yayo Rodriguez. And into the game for Notre Dame, also Abdou Touré. Nice when you can bring a 6'4" freshman off the bench. Gay for 3, no good. Rebound Riley. Here comes East Catholic.
Good move.
Can't finish with the left, but we're going to get a late foul on Ayo Amino. So beat him to the basket here, right? And Ayo gets him from behind.
Yeah, got him on the head. Samson Riley at the line here. Remember, Casey broke his foot last year, February 14th. Was cleared 3 days before the Double L final. Got in the first quarter, a minute and a half into the game, broke it again. So he's back out here with a chance to play against the Green Knights.
And I promise you, as a coach's son, he's not allowed to miss free throws. Penalty, there will be no dinner on the table tonight if you miss a free throw. Dessert, don't even think about it.
Notre Dame runs a lot out of this horn set here. The 2 big men at the elbows. They'll either screen or enter it to the high post and look to get it back to Connor.
Connor with a new look on him now. Rodriguez defending him. Connor goes right by him. And a beautiful dish to Ayo Amino finishing at the basket. I think that's a lot to ask for Yayo Rodriguez.
No gimmicks so far, Casey. Just straight man, staying with their own man, playing good defense.
Drive, baseline, fancy, Samson Riley.
He's no stranger to the next level. He's already got an offer from CCSU. Coach's son, only a junior. We're
gonna get a foul out on the perimeter. see who that, they call that one on. Yeah, slap in right there on Riley.
Last 2 possessions, Casey, Notre Dame's been able to get it to the hoop.
That's 2 on Samson Riley here in the first period with a 1:06 remaining, so we'll see if he gets taken out of the ball game. Knocking down the free throw is Tourette. Landon Krieger, a 6'4" freshman. So on the floor right now for Notre Dame, 6'4", 6'4" twin freshmen.
What a luxury.
Not bad. With good touch, by the way, for a freshman. You always wonder when they get to a free throw line, you get a feel for what they, what they have for a shooting stroke, and those were both very pure. Under a minute remaining here in the first period. Notre Dame with the steal. There goes Connor. Little Euro step. Connor goes sideways and knocks it down. Biggest lead here, 6 for Notre Dame.
Token pressure here, just trying to speed East Catholic up a little bit. They got him to speed up last possession, got a turnover.
Little jump double on Jones. A bull move. No good though. Sanchez just used his body. That's a big body. Got to the rim a little bit out of control, and it'll stay with East Catholic. Samson Riley will inbound. 18 seconds remaining here in the first period. See if they get a good look off the inbound. There's a 3, back iron, and Notre Dame will have a last opportunity here before the end of the first period. Already up 6. A little uncharacteristic there. Makai Connor out of control. Fowler will come back in the ball game for East Catholic. 3.2 seconds remaining. Let's see what East Catholic can get for a shot here at the end of the period.
Coach Shea wants him to press up a little bit here.
In it goes to Jones. He's going to have to get one off at half court, just inside. Runner, and that's blocked. We're at the end of one, 17-11. Notre Dame on top of East Catholic. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
The Holy Club, the premier indoor golf facility and lounge in southeastern Connecticut. Featuring Foresight Sports Simulator technology, you can test your game on the greatest courses in the world. Want to improve your swing? Schedule a lesson with their on-site PGA Pro. Want to host an event? The lounge offers the perfect setting to watch all the big games. Gift cards are available and make the perfect stocking stuffer for this holiday season. Don't wait. Stop by the Holy Club, 161 Water Street in downtown Norwich. With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeured transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com.
17-11, the Green Knights of Notre Dame on top of East Catholic after one. Coach, what did you see in the first period that surprised you?
The three-point shooting, obviously, these two teams are very comfortable playing on this floor. I mean, watching this game, you'd think that you were watching two teams that play regularly at Mohegan Sun, and they were here last March, and they seemed very comfortable, and the three-pointer was falling for Notre Dame. Not so much for East, but they were tempted to take a lot of those. We'll see if that game plan changes here in the second quarter.
I'm a little surprised, and maybe you can talk to this, with Notre Dame playing man, I was surprised to not see more motion from East Catholic. They seem to settle for those, drive and kick threes, and I would think they would have a motion offense that they would run, especially with such a veteran group. You got to travel on Notre Dame, so East Catholic ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think as the game goes on, we'll see if that, develops. But right now, definitely East is trying to feel out the athleticism of Notre Dame. There's not much difference here in the height and the length. And East has a very tall and long team.
Jones loses it, stripped. Pushing ahead is Krieger. Back to Connor. Back up top, Connor sidesteps, zips underneath to Krieger. That's a good look, but wasn't in good position. Now Krieger dumps down to Gay. Can't get it to go. Here's Jones. Dump down to Fowler. That's a great look. That's the second time we've seen Jones penetrate, find Fowler underneath.
Yeah, Fowler runs the floor so well. He's down there under the hoop before anybody else gets back on Notre Dame, and easy deuce.
Fowler is the leading scorer for East with 6. That 3 goes in and out. Tipped out of bounds. It'll be East Catholic basketball. Back into the game for Notre Dame, Tajay Jones.
Yeah, with the court being a little longer, a little wider, it's tempting to take those threes outside, you know, the college three-point line.
Rodriguez gives it up to Jones. That's good defense. That's a great, those 2 D1 kids right there. Jones and Connor going against each other. And they're gonna get the foul, looks like, on Amino, and Jones will go to the line. Second foul on Ayo Amino.
Yeah, you see there, he just tried to slide into an established position. Good call.
James Jones to the line, shooting 2.
And free throw shooting is something that we don't talk enough about. Everyone looks at free throw shooting late in the game. I happen to think that if you knock your free throws down in the early part of the game, this is where, you know, 5-point leads get cut to 2 and where 5-point leads extend to 8 early in the game. Everyone looks kind of like, you know, who knocked their free throws down to stretch. What I'm noticing is East Catholic and Notre Dame knocking down free throws early.
Yeah, 2 teams that are well disciplined in all the fundamentals. They know it's going to take more than just athleticism to take the double L title.
Connor for 3, short iron. Rebound and push now, Sanchez to Jones. Foul on the perimeter, and I'll tell you, you look at Leandre Sanchez, the senior, you know, he doesn't have the body that some of these other kids have. He's a little shorter, thick, and, you know, doesn't give you the same vibe, but he is a bulldog getting to the basket. And we've seen this. He's played for them for a couple years now. The confidence. He gets the ball. He's very confident with it in his hands.
Yeah, he played really well in a Division I final. I keep saying double L. Division I final last year. And like Khalid El Amin.
Does have a little Khalid, that's right. Jumper in and out from Yayo. Wide open look. No good. Riley with the rebound. Closing out on the threes really well. Nice give and go, but good. There's that length at the rim. Block at the rim, but they're going to get the foul. See who they call it on if it's on Fowler. It is on Fowler. And I think, yeah, he came across. That's his first foul. That'll send Jaden Jackson to the line to shoot 2, but 3 times now we've seen East at the rim with length of Notre Dame in position to stop them. Now you look at East's first 2 games, 98-61 over Middletown, 85-29 over Avon. And I promise you, no one from Middletown or Avon had that kind of length at the rim. So those were 3 layups that are now 3 contested shots and misses.
But you can't get discouraged. You can't just say, no, I'm going to settle for the 3. A couple possessions ago, took a 3. Don't need it. Just keep attacking, keep making plays.
And you see the savvy of East Catholic. They're trying to use the rim to shield all those. They all took great angles to the basket to try to shield the defender. That length just overcomes a lot. There's that baseline drive. 3, no good. Rebound, Jackson up ahead to Connor. And we're going to get a blocking foul on Yayo Rodriguez, and Makai Connor is going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2. You can see why Connor is their go-to guy. He is all energy. He's up and down the floor, defense. He runs in transition. And if you saw the interview about where he's at, he could have gone to prep, which is the trend. He said, no, I want to stay. I want to stay. I want to win with this group. You know, I want to win. And quite frankly, he wants to beat this team. You know, he wants to beat East Catholic today, and he wants to come back in March and beat them again. It was very refreshing to see a kid say, no, you know, I put winning with this group ahead of the whole prep concept, because there's no shortage of prep offers for him. And as it is now, he's going to have any number of looks.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure that, you know, prep guarantees you a better look when you're playing a schedule like Notre Dame West Haven plays this season. You know, they're playing against Division I players as it is, so.
Yeah, and that's, you know, in-state, not to mention the 5 games they have out of state. Jones with Fowler with the 3, no good. Rebounded by Elliott. Now, kicked back up top. Oh, step in. Swanson, kick out. Connor, step back 3, no good. Fowler loses it underneath, and the left hand, and then finally rebounded by Jones. That was a good chance for Tajay Jones, but instead, James Jones with the rebound. Reach and foul on Jaden Jackson.
His first.
You had mentioned East Catholic, you know, the idea of sticking around, right? You know, not letting anybody kind of take off. Well, East Catholic is kind of just hanging around right now. It feels like they're down more than 4, but they're a basket away from this being a 1-possession game.
Yeah, this is the same kind of situation we saw last year in the first half.
You know what we have not had in this game yet? A timeout. That means it's a well played. That means it's a crisp game. We're going to get a hold underneath.
Yeah, and you definitely see, I don't know if it's just because it's early in the season, or if Coach Shea is definitely trying to hone in on his half-court defense, but not as many traps, not as many full-court pressure opportunities for Notre Dame.
Step back 3, in and out by Jones. Rebound and kicked out of bounds by Jaden Jackson, and it'll stay with East Catholic.
I'd be fascinated to know if Coach Riley is happy with the shot selection right now. You know, early in the season, still trying to feel out what your strengths and weaknesses are, but it seems to me they've taken too many threes.
Speaking of threes, there's one back iron, no good from Samson Riley. Rebound by Jackson, up ahead, it goes to Connor. Connor, floater, Cure.
And that's the shot that you want to get, both teams want to get more of.
Numbers, lob, and a block at the rim by Jaden Jackson. Notre Dame to run. Oh, Akeem Jackson Jr. hanging in the air, got the friendly bounce, and just like that, it's an 8-point lead. We talked 1 possession, and there's your timeout. It's a 30-second timeout from East Catholic. 6-1 run here by Notre Dame. And you talked about shot selection. Threes allow long rebounds, allow Notre Dame to get out and run. You know, but how many times, other than Fowler, who have we seen have any success around the rim for East Catholic?
Yeah, you're definitely seeing an East Catholic team that has been discouraged by the length, athleticism, height of Notre Dame West Haven. So right now, Coach Riley probably trying to draw something up to get some more movement to the basket, get some more easy buckets in the 10 to 15 foot range even. Settling for these long threes. Yeah, they're wide open, but percentage is pretty low right now.
You know, you talk about these teams, you talk about the difference when people don't understand length sometimes. You know, you at a team, even at a place like NFA, our biggest school, you might get 2 or 3 6'4" kids, you know, with some length. But you've also got the 5'7" point guard. There's no 5'7" point guard on this game. Everybody's 6 feet tall. Everybody's 6 feet to 6'6". Down low, Jones with the left hand, no good. Good defense that time by Connor. But you're talking just, you know, endless supplies of 6'3" to 6'6".
And they're guards too, Casey. That's the difference. Like a 6'6" guy at NFA a lot of the time was a back to the basket guy. A guy that's gonna bang and get rebounds. These are all guards. These are all two guards and small forwards that they're honing their skills to be that kind of player at the next level.
And talk about a guy like Mason Jackson when he was there, right? That was one of the first things we said was that here's a guy who's a guard. And for him to play at the next level, he had to be a guard. But the temptation, nice backdoor cut. There it is, beautiful. Fowler to Riley. There's what we've been waiting on. But for Jackson, for you needed him to play big. You know, sometimes he had to go down and he could be a guard offensively, but he also needed defensively to play, like, because he was your only, guy of that length too. So on these teams, guards are guards. And you got big guards. Friendly roll from Makai Connor. He's heating up.
The difference these last couple possessions, Notre Dame, West Haven, just getting into the paint and getting opportunities much closer to the basket.
Long three from Riley, but that's NBA range. Connor drives, blocked by Jones, off of Tajay Jones, and it'll be East Catholic basketball.
What a great little play by Connor, though. He didn't try to force it. Created for his teammate and just didn't get the call.
That's a great point, because one of the things I know about, those A-list players, sometimes when they sense the blood in the water, they want to do it by that long three, that dagger three. He did it by driving and getting a teammate involved. Three is good from Samson Riley with a chance at a 4-point play, just what the doctor ordered for East Catholic.
Yeah, they needed one to fall desperately. And, here you see the best threes are those inside-out threes where you're faced up to the basket. Pass comes from the inside. Had his sights on it and got nicked on the hand, so 4-point play opportunity.
And that's exactly what they needed, as they had been in danger of seeing that lead go into double digits. Now with 1:43, a chance to cut it to 4. Rare miss by the coach's son, but the tip comes down underneath. Pump fake and good from Jones. That's savvy from James Jones.
Man, doesn't that always happen? You miss a free throw, box out, give up a layup.
And Jones starting to assert himself as they need him to. Rebound, kick, pump fake, strip from Connor. That's a beautiful look to Tamari Gay. That ends a 7-0 run.
It seems like every time East Catholic makes a costly turnover, Notre Dame cashes it in.
There's Jones. Pulls up. No good. That's great defense. But Fowler in the right spot. Strong to the basket. And we're going to get a timeout, Notre Dame. 30-second timeout for Notre Dame. So you talked about every time that East Catholic turns it over, Notre Dame seemed to capitalize. Well, the last couple of possessions, Notre Dame's been victim of a little bit of bad luck, which is the thing it's impossible to predict the bounce of the ball sometimes. Back to back, the ball bounces right into East Catholic's hands.
Yeah, and Coach Jay furious, box out, we got a rebound, but like you said, Casey, sometimes it just bounces the wrong way. And East Catholic, Johnny on the spot. And they needed those 2 hoops. And all of a sudden, it looked like Notre Dame was going to pull away here, get a double-digit lead. And now, lo and behold, it's 1 possession with under a minute to play.
Makai Connor, the leading scorer for Notre Dame with 11, and Preston Fowler with 8, all at the rim, which is, again, where they've had their success. So Notre Dame will have the ball. 3-point East Catholic lead, under a minute here remaining in the half. Our next game, St. Bernard and Daniel Hand, those 2 teams have arrived. They're in the stands watching this contest here. Getting a look at how the other Division I teams around the state. Of course, Hand, last year's D3 winner. Dump down, good position. And we're gonna get a foul on Rob Elliott. That was good position from Tajay Jones.
And a great decision by Jaden Jackson. He had a 15-footer. He passed it back out. They got a better opportunity, and now a chance to extend the lead.
At the line, the 6'7" junior, Tajay Jones. First one's good, and with 32 seconds remaining. I'd be interested to see, assuming that he knocks this one down and it becomes a 5-point lead, does East Catholic hold for one, or do they just try to get the best look they get? Because I don't want to go into halftime down more than 5. I'd like to cut it, but I don't want it to be more than 5. And it is 5. Jones being hounded by Abdu Torre, and he's going to get the foul. Torre will foul away from the basket. That's a 1-and-1, so that's going to put James Jones on the line. So an opportunity at some free points here for East Catholic.
Yeah, it's a trunk slammer of a foul there. 50 feet away from the hoop, giving him a free chance to get 2 points.
Here are those free throws we talked about. Front end of a 1-and-1.
The poise from these players, though, Casey, so impressive. All of them very poised. You don't see them getting too hot. They're getting to the next play.
Knocks them both down. One possession game. You know that Notre Dame's going to want it in Mekhi Connor's hands. Here he comes. Guarded by Yayo Rodriguez. Now he dumps it off to Mari Gay. Little high-low, backdoor cut. There it is to Connor. Spin, hangs, no foul. 3-2, Fowler at the buzzer. No good. We're at halftime. 3-point Notre Dame lead on top of East Catholic. We're going to hear from Notre Dame coach Jason Shea. He will be with our own George Hathaway as Notre Dame there. I think they wanted a foul on one end, but instead they got it. George Hathaway is with Jason Shea. So Notre Dame wanted the foul, and East Catholic not a real great look. Let's see what Jason Shea has to say about where his team is. 3-point lead. I think they probably felt it should be more. I'll be interested to see what he thinks about that. All right, George, take it away.
Thank you, guys. So here I am with Coach Shea. Coach, you guys have a 3-point lead here at halftime. What's the message to the team in the locker room?
Well, we got to do a better job on the boards. I think we've hit some pretty tough shots, so we want to run better offense, get a few easier ones, and we're breaking down the transition defense a little bit too. So we got to tie those things up, but our effort's there, and we're playing well together. So I'm happy with that.
And speaking of the offense, it seems like you guys are taking a lot of perimeter shots early on here, especially in that first quarter. But kind of going in the locker room second half, are you going to try to utilize more of that inside game?
Yeah, they make it tough. It's not by accident. They're a really big, long team, so we're going to try to get some stuff to the basket. But we got some shooters too, so if it's there, we just got to offense and rebound it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Good luck second half. All right, we're going to send it back to you guys at the booth.
Thank you, George. We're at halftime. 3-point lead here for Notre Dame. Stay tuned for some business, some features, and then we'll be back with a little wrap-up of the first half. You're watching Game Day at the Holiday Classic live on theday.com.
With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeured transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com. Pave the way for your students' financial success with a MySci account from Scient Federal Credit Union. Open a high-yield MySci savings account today and help support a positive financial future for your student. Visit scientfcu.org to learn more.
Any good coach, at least the way that we do it, your team becomes part of your family. And they've been part of this family since the day they were born.
Make them go 1-on-3.
When these guys were born, they grew up watching all the guys playing in East Catholic uniform and idolized them and rode the bus.
It kind of evolved to I'd be behind the bench, and then eventually I got on the end of the bench, and then I believe after the 2016 state championship game, I was jumping around on the court with the handy cam, filming the celebration at half court.
It's been really cool growing up around the team, seeing all the guys go through, from Joey, my cousin, to Matt Noling, and everyone in between. And now it's finally my turn. That's really cool.
I'd say he becomes dad outside of the East Catholic building?
There's got to be a difference. You're always striving for balance. Sometimes that's hard to get, and I always joke around that, you know, these guys have no separation. There's no escape. And I think my wife has got the worst of it, because the chances of the three of us all having a good day on the basketball court, whether it be coaching or playing or winning or losing, she's taking the brunt of it. But you're always just striving for balance. And we've always said that, hey, basketball is a tool, a teaching tool, and our goal is to create great young men, and they come in as young little guys and they leave as grown men ready to kind of tackle the world.
Do you see yourself doing that one day?
That's the goal, yeah. I do. I would like to go into coaching.
I do want to be a coach because growing up around it, or even now being able to see like what my uncle is doing or what my dad has done, or even like Drew Hurley came through and seeing what his dad is doing, or seeing like Jalen Hunter's dad is over at Indiana right now. So I think seeing like how many doors coaching can open, I think it'll be something that I strive to be one day.
It's just the family business. It's in the blood.
At The Day, we pride ourselves on giving our readers the best coverage of local high school sports. Whether in-depth stories, photos and video, or columns, our dedicated reporters are on the sidelines covering it all, providing you with the stats, analysis, and commentary you've grown to know and trust. Subscribe today at theday.com to receive full access to all our coverage. With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeured transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com.
Somebody who is as good as you in high school, there's always the tug of going to prep school.
Yeah.
Why'd you stay?
You know, making it that far and, you know, getting there and losing by 1 point in the state championship, you know, it played a huge role in me, you know, coming back. And then, you know, also, you know, my coaches and my teammates, you know, I kind of didn't want to leave them. You know, I love them guys, and starting from my freshman year, I built a brotherhood with them, so, you know, it definitely kept me around.
I think it means everything. You know, these guys are more than just players to me. We have relationships that are real. We spend a lot of time with each other in the off season, not just on, obviously not on the basketball court, but in other settings. I get to know them. They've gotten to know me. It's much more than just a coach-player relationship. You know, a lot of the players who played for me become some of my best friends as they get a little older. When they stay and they show that loyalty and belief in me and the program, it means the world.
Did you get any phone calls? Hey, come to our school?
I had a couple, yeah, but yeah, I knew it wasn't for me. Like, you know, I explored my options, and, you know, I looked into them and, you know, applied. But when it really came down to it, I kind of knew in my heart I was going to come back to Notre Dame. It's kind of tough, you know, making it there and, you know, losing by 1 point. That's definitely, you know, I'd rather have lost by 20 than lose by 1, man, you know. Because 1 point is like, if one more shot went in, could have changed the game.
It hurt right down to the core. There's no question about it. We had a great group of kids, fantastic season, and that still is something we're very proud of, probably the best season in our school's history. But that last game, it still sticks with all of us. It's been a motivating factor for us, and will continue to be throughout the entire season.
I think I was at Mohegan, and I heard it, that somebody was like, you know, you guys could possibly play for East Catholic again. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm ready for that game. I can't wait for that one.
With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeured transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com. St. Bernard School is a Roman Catholic co-ed college prep school for grades 6 to 12, located in Uncasville. We welcome students of all faiths who value academic excellence, personal and spiritual growth, and a commitment to community. St. Bernard ranks among the best private schools in Connecticut, with a 98% college acceptance rate and a student-to-teacher ratio of 12 to 1. We offer over 40 clubs and activities and more than 20 sports programs. Visit stbernardschool.org to apply today or request a campus tour.
We're at halftime, a 3-point lead for Notre Dame. And Coach, you know, you heard Coach Shea mention that it's tough. He said, we got to stay on the perimeter because it's tough with their length. And I think that Notre Dame's even longer than East Catholic. What did you see there?
Yeah, I thought uncharacteristically, at least from what we've expected in the past from Coach Riley's team, a lot more threes than I expected them to take. And like Coach Shea said, his team took a lot of perimeter shots because East Catholic's so long. I think East was baited into taking a lot of those threes because they are wide open. But remember, we got 2 lines on the court here for three-pointers, and the wide open threes were the further three-pointer.
Well, you know, Fowler led East Catholic with 8 points. All of his were around the rim, but, you know, Connor and Gay with 11 and 8 for Notre Dame, and they were launching early and often. And I think, you know, it's set up, like you said, the baiting, right? So, you know, all of a sudden East Catholic starting to drift out to the perimeter as well because that's where the open looks are.
Yeah, and then as we saw, like, later in the second quarter, right here, Mackay goes to the hoop. He creates for other people. They got some opportunities down low to get some harm at the basket to get to the foul line. And East had a lot of their success when they were able to go to the basket, as we're seeing in this package here. And turnovers have helped Notre Dame get a lead, but then the lack of offensive rebounding, or the lack of defensive rebounding, I should say, for Notre Dame has helped East Catholic kind of stay in arm's length here.
Notre Dame's largest lead was 8 at 23-15. It's 29-26 now. Fowler with 8 points. Connor with 11. Gay with 8 for Notre Dame. Second half, you know, fouls don't seem to be an issue. Second half, like you said, we didn't see any press. We didn't see any real gimmicky defenses. Just 2 teams kind of played straight up man-to-man with each other. There wasn't a lot of wrinkles offensively. Notre Dame, we saw the horn set that you talked about. Other than that, East Catholic didn't run. They ran a little high-low occasionally, but, you know, neither team is showing much. We'll see if they open it up a little bit in the second half or if this is just going to be a straight, you know, dogfight.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Coach Riley, we got to do what we do better. And Coach Shea's probably going to say, we got to ratchet it up. When the shot goes up, you got to fight harder. You got to be hungrier. We got to get those loose balls.
One of the best things in sports is when you can say to your kids, if we play our best, we'll take our chances. And I think both coaches are saying that to their kids. If we play our best, we'll take our chances. And that doesn't happen a lot because a lot of times, you know, you can play your best and still not have a chance. But these are 2 teams that if they play their A game, think that they should win this game. And I think that is part of why you're seeing such a straight up, you know, sort of not too intricate, but very elegant style of basketball.
Much more deliberate set here by East to start the second half. They already tried for 2 back doors. They weren't there.
Jones, but he steals it back. Driving to the basket. Jones finds Fowler. He puts it on the floor. Pump fakes. Hooks, no good. Elliott underneath with a 2, and that draws East to within 1.
Very deliberate offensive possession.
Off the back iron, rebound Jones. Jones wants to push. Drive to the basket, hanging. Riley got there, and they're gonna get Connor on the foul, and that's just a little bit of that late hang. You saw Riley take it as far out wide as he could to stave off Mackay Connor, and it wasn't until right there that we see the foul.
Yeah, and you saw both possessions by East to start this half, very deliberate and got to the paint, got 2 feet in the paint and made something happen.
So 2 things. One is I absolutely love how Luke Riley shoots free throws. There's no routine. He catches it, spins it, and shoots it. There's no routine, and then he doesn't bother to hit the rim either. So that's, by the way, that's an example of a guy who shot 85,000 free throws in his life.
Well, they say mastery is 10,000 hours. You know he probably put in at least half that.
Malcolm Gladwell, straight away, 3, no good. First lead of the game, by the way, for East Catholic, 1 point. Let's see how Notre Dame handles adversity. Open look, 3, got it! Sampson Riley with another opportunity at a 4-point play.
Well, Coach Shea, great driving spray here. Coach Shea couldn't be less pleased with how they came out in the second half. 2 quick shots, and then fouling a jump shooter, a cardinal sin of man-to-man defense.
How about a nice 8-0 run to start the half?
Notre Dame's got to get back to running something, getting Mackay going downhill.
Well, you said in the freshly squeezed juice that East Catholic had to be deliberate in how they played, you know, and that's what we're seeing here. There's that 3, and of course, the 3s don't go down for Notre Dame. This lead, we could see expanding. Riley drives, pull up, 10-footer, short. Oh, nice spin by Mackay Connor. He's going to go the other way now for Notre Dame. Open look, wing 3, back iron, no good from Gay. Up ahead now, Riley to Riley. Oh, nice look underneath. Fowler can't finish, though. He was disrupted by Tajay Jones.
Tough bounce there. Good decision. Just threw it a little too far. But last possession, Mackay made the perfect pass. I mean, any college coach watching, that's what I want my point guard to do. Drive, spray. It's just hard to hit these 3s.
Oh, look at the backdoor cut. Jones finds Riley underneath with the left, and the biggest lead of the game for East Catholic. They went from having 1 lead now to having a 7-point lead, and that's just pretty basketball.
Yeah, I think it's apparent from what we've seen here in the second half that Coach Riley emphasized getting the ball to the basket, being deliberate, being patient on offense. You saw a lot of impatient shots from East in the first half. They have been very patient. The 3 that they took was a nice inside-out 3, and they have the lead.
10-0 run coming out of the half. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that if you are Luke Riley. And it's been done with the inside-outside. You know, I think that all sports have links to one another, right? So why do you run the football? You run the football to soften up a defense and open up the passing lane. Why do you continue to work inside even when it's not there? To show that you'll do it. Get the defense to sag a little bit, and then those kick-out 3s are from the appropriate distance and not from the NBA distance. And you look at Sampson Riley, in 3 possessions, backdoor cut, drive, kick, and another kick. George, what do you got?
Yeah, listening to Coach Shea's timeout just a moment ago, he stressed a lot that there's a side-to-side movement. What they're going to have to do now coming out of this timeout is attack and then dish the ball out. And I'm going to send it back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, George. Yeah, they need to move the ball around. Their energy here to start the second half has been a little bit lackluster. They need to get a good look here. And instead, they turn it over. Kick up top. Straightaway 3. Back iron, no good. Look at Jones elevate for the rebound. And, way up top, but Riley comes down with it. And that's off of Elliott. And so Notre Dame gets a turnover, and they'll have it coming the other way.
Little heat check from Sampson there with the deep straight-on 3. I don't know if Dad has the green light for him, but he thought he did.
Ayo Aminu into the ball game for Notre Dame. So the 6'3" senior. Also into the ball game, Matt Picota, 6'1" senior. Nice cut. Trapped under the basket though, and there's a steal from Luke Riley to Sampson Riley. Now underneath to Fowler, Straight up and over the top of Ayo Aminu for 2. And a charge, offensive foul here with an illegal screen on the outside is Notre Dame. And so, I mean, crazy to say this, but East Catholic has held Notre Dame scoreless here 4 minutes halfway through the period.
Notre Dame out of sorts. They need to get it back to Connor and let Mackay do his thing. Try to get him going downhill north and south like George inferred. A lot of east-west movement is what Coach Shea was seeing, trying to get them to go more north-south to the basket. Got to get the ball in Connor's hand. And here we go with the deliberate use of the clock.
Jones, stutter steps, denied at the rim by Jones. That's a little Jones on Jones blockage. Numbers 3-on-1. Lob. Jones can't finish twice, 3 times. Missed opportunity, but a steal. And the finish from Luke Riley.
East Catholic's transition defense is just tremendous. It looked like Notre Dame had a odd man rush and they were back and stole it, and then they had their own fast break coming the other way.
And there's a steal. Fowler up ahead. Riley. The layup is good, and everything is flying right now. Timeout, Notre Dame.
Long arms in the passing lane. It's nice to have that 6'7" length to steal those perimeter passes and turns into an easy bucket.
30-second timeout, Notre Dame. Right now, they're just trying to do anything. 16-0 in this second half. I mean, if you had told me that you could go on a 16-0 run against Notre Dame, I wouldn't have thought it was, I would have thought you needed the Celtics. You know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, as talented as a team as they are, 16-0 is almost, I mean, you know, it's hard to do that no matter how good you are. I mean, the Celtics might not be able to hold them to a 16-0 run. I mean, that just takes a lot of shots going in on one end, mistakes on the other end, missed shots, and, you know, down 13, this is the first adversity Notre Dame has faced this season to a team that they desperately want to prove that they belong on the floor with. You know, let's see how they respond. A lot of basketball left, but let's see how they respond on this possession. And I gotta think that it has to start with a good look under the basket. And if Mackay Connor touches it, that's probably the best thing too. Stutter step by Connor. Looking for Jones in the paint. Dumps down, spins, hangs, can't get it. Luke Riley pushes up ahead. Riley gives it back up top to Samson Riley. Elliott. Much more deliberate. There's a drive. Uncontested layup by Samson Riley. He has taken over in the second half. That's 12 second half points for Samson Riley. And Notre Dame without an answer right now. Connor, floater, no good. Fowler pulls it down. East wants to run. Fowler for 3, no good. That's not a shot that he's going to take too much. Baseline drive, and finally into the box, Tamari Gay for the first 2 of the half.
It starts with the bad 3. That's like a turnover.
And Elliott loses it out of bounds. So here comes the, you know, it's almost like you can sense the run. You know, as a coach, you can, you know, why do you call a timeout here and not 30 seconds from now? Sometimes you can just feel it. Basket here by Notre Dame. They're going to turn up the pressure. That's where you have to, if you're East, just got to kind of keep your fingers on the pulse. three, short. Jones closes it out. Up ahead, running the floor, Fowler. And Notre Dame's gonna make it sloppy. Here it goes up ahead, Makai Connor. No good, he'll be fouled by Jones and he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Once again, Casey, we see these long threes almost turning into fast break opportunities every single time. East a little unfortunate. They weren't able to get the handle on that loose ball, and Makai was able to get ahead of the pack and pick up the foul.
So two for Makai Connor. And that is something that right now Notre Dame cannot afford. They need every point they can get. Yayo Rodriguez checking into the ball game, and Elliott will get a breather for East Catholic. Second one is up, and you can't go 0 for 2. Down 13. Just can't have it. I know he wants those back. Riley has to pick his dribble up as he went to the floor. Knocked out of bounds. He'll stay with East Catholic as Tajay Jones.
Sampson's played a really good second half, really good third quarter. He's been the best player on the floor this third quarter.
Fowler kicks to Riley. Rodriguez, they'll hold for what looks to be the last shot as we're under 10 seconds. Double team, and there's a step in by Connor. And as a buzzer sounds at the end of the third period, a steal by Makai Connor gets Notre Dame to within 11. We're at the end of 3. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
At the Connecticut Capitals Baseball Academy, we provide a fun experience for all serious baseball players of all ages through playing competitive summer baseball at a high level, by teaching young men how to play the game the right way with a professional approach. Come join the Capital family where we strive for unmatched professionalism, high character building, and a customer-driven experience in a team environment. With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeured transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com.
Not what East Catholic wanted to end the half.
No, you want the last shot. If anything, just hold it, get a jump ball situation. Do not throw the cross-court pass and give Notre Dame a free 2 points when you totally dominated that third quarter. You want to take away any thought that they have of coming back, and now there is some life for the Green Knights.
Last 4 points of the quarter scored by Notre Dame after the first 18 were scored by East Catholic. 12 of those coming from Sampson Riley. So Notre Dame back to, hovering. They'll have the basketball here, and there's no such thing as a must make, but quality possessions, very important here to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I would like to see a little bit more deliberate possession, get into the paint, try to get a piece of the paint here before you get a shot up.
Kick out three, good. Tamari Gay hits a big three. Here comes pressure. Jones spins, hangs. Oh, JJ. Makai can fly. Hangs in the air for 2. Notre Dame starting to get to the basket.
How much better are they when he is getting into the paint? First, gets into the paint, sprays it out for the three-pointer, and then goes to distance for the layup.
Jones down low. Fowler blocked from behind by Gay. Up ahead. Connor for 3. No good. Look at the weak side rebound. Put back. No good, but Jones will shoot 2. And life in the Green Knights, chance to cut it to 6.
Yeah, both these teams have a lot of pride, so there's going to be no quit. And Tajay was Johnny on the spot there. Probably an ill-advised 3. I know the confidence is high with Mackay, but he's been getting to the rack whenever he wants to.
That's another missed free throw. Jaden Jackson back into the ball game for Notre Dame. Landon Krieger will have a seat.
It's tough. It's tough as a coach in this day and age to give kids freedom to shoot that shot, because you're going to have to make that shot at the next level. But also knowing that, you know, right now your strength is getting to the basket.
Riley does such a nice job breaking the pressure. Jones underneath. Fowler hangs. What a move at the basket by Preston Fowler, the sophomore. 6-7, hang time. Three is short. Oh, look at the rebound. Pump fake. Foul. Basket is good. Jaden Jackson will get the bonus, and that's just all work from the senior.
Yeah, the hunger right now with Notre Dame, they're down. They know that they need to get second, third, fourth opportunities. East maybe standing a little bit flat-footed, knowing that they have this lead. And Notre Dame creeping right back in.
Chance to cut it to 6, and you see Rob Elliott checking back in the ball game. When Yayo Rodriguez is in the game, they get a little smaller. They're not necessarily from the height, but Elliott is a wider body. He's a banger, and you can see it's a response. Notre Dame crashing the boards. And they want the ball in Samson Elliott, in Riley's hands. When they put pressure on, this kid knows what to do with the basketball. He's got a handle and a great decision making.
East will be in no rush with the lead.
Riley will get a reach-in foul as he went to the floor.
That was a tough one.
We'll get the reach on Abdou Toure, the freshman. Well, that's because he's a freshman. Freshmen aren't supposed to get calls.
But the energy level from the Green Knights, excellent here to start this fourth. They're right back in this game. A lot of time left.
That's just the height of Jones over the top of Connor. Jones all the way to the basket, out of bounds. It's going to stay with East Catholic. Notre Dame saying that they were being held.
Yeah, the wing. Jones used the big wing to hold off Connor on that drive.
Pull up. Riley, no good. Look at Fowler. Oh, you know what? You're not playing like a sophomore, are you, son? There's no sophomores or freshmen in games like this. Immediate veterans. Long three, back iron, no good, not a good shot. Connor wanted to try to stem the tide, but 8-point. An offensive foul. Luke Riley with the little illegal screen. Fowler, 18 for East Catholic. He and Samson Riley have been leading the charge for the Eagles.
Yeah, Fowler has really been cleaning up the glass here, and a quiet 18, but
9 baskets around the basket.
Yeah, every time it seems that East is going to fold or give up the lead, he's there to get a putback.
Oh, beautifully done. Rebound, Jaden Jackson finds the cutting Tamari Gay off the miss. Lead hanging at 6. Oh, Riley just got that over the hands. Jones drives, hangs. Little disruption at the basket, but look at the work of Elliott. Zip pass, a step, a second late.
Yeah, it's the window's closed so fast. Must be what Zach Wilson sees when he's quarterbacking the Jets. Well,
we talked about, football, right? The themes of football. Well, there's one, right? A quarterback that throws to a window that's not there yet versus the guy that waits. If you wait till him to be open, he won't be when you get the ball. That pass needed to be delivered before he actually was open. Like that one right there, and Elliott finishes at the basket.
Once again, every time East is patient, deliberate, they get guys cut into the basket. Just an impressive second half so far from the Eagles.
Lead back to 8. Nice cut. And we're going to get a foul as Toure went to the basket. He'll shoot 2. The freshman, Abdou Toure, will have a couple of free throws for Notre Dame.
A little curl off that high screen. Good way to get guys going to the basket. Good design there by Coach Shea.
Abdou Toure to the line, shooting 2.
First one is back iron, and Notre Dame's struggling in the second half with the free throws. I think that's the 5th miss I count.
Correct, Casey.
My mind is like a steel trap. A rusty steel trap. No one, that's 3-0-2. I mean, that's 3 0-2s. That's empty sets. You can't have those.
Yeah, that's a killer when you watch the film, but still a lot of time left. Plenty of time left. 8-point lead. You can get it back. Got to get a stop here.
Riley and Riley. Riley drives, Luke Riley. Hangs at the basket, no good. Elliott loses it to Gay. Gay's gonna push and kicks it out. Open look, long 3, no good. Weak side rebound, out of bounds it will go. Akeem Jackson had a chance at it, but he jumped a little early, and East Catholic will have it with an 8-point lead. 4 of 10 from the free throw line. That says it right there. If they make even 4 of those, right, it's a 4-point game instead of an 8-point.
East is going to look to use clock. Last time they were able to get to the basket, but that length of Notre Dame is preventing a lot of these layups that they would normally make and put the game away. But this is traditionally, if you're watching East Catholic for the first time, the 4 corners offense here that Coach Riley employs late in the game.
Uh-oh. Samson Riley took a little roll of the ankle there. He seems to be okay, but that move that he just made right there, unless you know what you were looking for, the subtlety to that, right? This very subtle change of speed and direction, the use of his body. He drew a foul where he had no business drawing a foul by simply just slowing up a little teeny bit and leaning his body.
Yeah, and this offense is an offense. The 4 corners that Coach Riley employs in the 4th quarter with the lead is something that they hold sacred, and they utilize all of those concepts. When you get to the basket, you need to either score or draw a foul.
And the other side of things, right, Riley not missing free throws, knocking them down, leads back 10 as we approach the 3-minute mark. Notre Dame's got to resist the urge to just jack up threes, too. They need a good set, good look. Dump down. Spin. That's a good move right there. He had the advantage of the size. Riley not able to stay with Jones. Jones backed him down and will shoot 2.
Yeah, I like this low post entry. You could cut guys off the top also when you enter it to the low post and have cutters coming from the backside or the top. So you got options when you get it into the block there.
That one's true from the junior Tajay Jones.
Not over yet. A lot of time. Obviously, East is going to try to milk the clock. You got to get them to drive the ball, and you got to create a miss.
The difficulty, as he misses the second one, is that East has veteran ball handlers. They know how to spread the floor, and they're going to make their free throws. They're so tough from entry pass And there's a great look. Jones, pump fake, block from behind, but he'll shoot two. So they're not gonna, I mean, if you keep giving them the back door by overplaying, they're gonna take it.
Yeah, this time just almost had the clean block. Oh, that was close. And almost, Casey, the Notre Dame's best chance to come back now is to get East to drive it in and then block the shot or alter the shot.
It'll be interesting at what point. I think Jones,
somebody
is
opened
laughing.
the window.
He wants that one back. That one came off the hand funny. I think it'll be interesting to see if Coach Riley, when he takes the pedal off of that and stops looking for those cuts and says, you know what, even if you have that cut, let's keep the ball circulating.
Yeah, that's coming. Need a bucket here.
Great rebound by Jones. Pump fake, gets his man in the air and finishes.
He's gonna make somebody happy at the next level.
Yeah, he just does everything right. He's not flashy, but it's all there. Jones, Tajay Jones gets to the basket. He'll shoot two more.
Yeah, the last couple possessions, Tajay drawing fouls. Look, that's what you got to keep doing. There's still enough time. Get the clock to stop. Get baskets or get the clock to stop. And now on defense, you got to either create a turnover or get East to drive the ball quickly to the basket.
Into the game for Notre Dame, number 12, junior Howdy and number 20, Abdu Torre.
Notre Dame struggling from the line this half, 5 of 13. 6 of 14. If you don't get a turnover here, you got to get up, make them drive, try to get a block shot. But you got to get up and make them drive. Yep, here it is, and that's what you wanted.
Oh, and then you can't allow the tip in. You can't allow Riley to come on. You can't allow Elliott on the weak side to come in. 13-point lead. Drive to the basket, hangs, no good. Rebound from Jones and out of bounds. We should let you know that St. Bernard's is a Roman Catholic co-ed college prep school for grades 6 to 12 located in Uncasville. We welcome students of all faiths who value academic excellence, personal and spiritual growth, and a commitment to community. St. Bernard's ranks among the best private schools in Connecticut with a 98% college acceptance rate and a student-to-teacher ratio of 12 to 1. We offer over 40 clubs and activities and more than 20 sports programs. Visit stbernardschool.org to apply today or request a campus tour. Back-to-back baskets if that had gone down, but that 11-point lead under a minute remaining. We're going to get a reach in on the perimeter from Jaden Jackson, and this will be a good win for, East Catholic. They were wondering what they were. Notre Dame with that opening win over Brantford hadn't seen a team like this. Neither had East. This is a nice win. Again, a lot to go back to the drawing board if you're Jason Shea. That 3-point lead at the half and just a dreadful 18-0 run by East Catholic. If you're Notre Dame, that's gonna haunt him tonight.
Yeah, curious to see what our guy George gets out of Coach Riley at the post game in terms of what he said at halftime and what he thought really went well in this second half. As for Notre Dame, they'll regroup. This is just a bump in the road for them. I mean, in the first half, Casey, Notre Dame looked clearly like the better team. I thought they, both teams, I thought shot too many threes, but I thought they were the aggressor. I thought they were better on defense. East didn't have a lot of clean looks anywhere inside the three-point line. But something happened at halftime. I mean, that's just the story of this game. When East Catholic came out in the second half, they were a totally different team. And it started with those first 2 possessions by each team. East got into the paint and scored baskets, and Notre Dame took quick shots and missed them both.
Under 20 seconds remaining. Nice look underneath. Jones, he's fouled, and I'll take the opportunity to tell you one more time about St. Bernard's. They're going to be here in Game 2 against Daniel Hand, rematch of last year's semifinal in Division 3. And if you want to know about St. Bernard's, they're a Roman Catholic co-ed college prep school, grades 6 to 12, located in Uncasville. They welcome students of all faiths who value academic excellence, personal and spiritual growth, and a commitment to community. St. Bernard's ranks among the best private schools in Connecticut, a 98% college acceptance rate, and a student-to-teacher ratio of 12 to 1, 40 clubs and activities, 20 sports programs. Visit stbernardschool.org. You can apply there, or you can request a campus tour.
Sign me up.
The little school on the hill. Beautiful facility. Don Macrino is my guy. Beautiful place. As we tick down under 10 seconds, East Catholic is going to go stay undefeated. Notre Dame, first loss, 62-50. Samson Riley, 24 points. Preston Fowler, 18. Those are your 2 leading scorers for East Catholic. Jones and Gay, your 2 leading scorers for Notre Dame, but it wasn't enough, 62-50 on top. So, of course, you're going to have our interview with the winning coach, Luke Riley. He was not interviewed at halftime because they were down 3. We're going to find out about that great run they put on. And then tonight's player of the game is going to be brought to you by Ambassador Limo. With more than 40 years in the transportation business, Ambassador Limo is the #1 chauffeur and transportation company in Connecticut. Whether you're looking for a night on the town, wedding transportation, or reliable service to and from the airport, Ambassador has you covered. Check them out at ambassadorlimo.com. Our own George Hathaway is going to be with our Ambassador Limousine player of the game, Junior Samson Riley. Take it away, George.
Thank you, guys. Here I am with Ambassador Limo player of the game, Samson Riley. Samson, you had 21 points, and 12 of those coming in the third quarter. So you had a big run in that third quarter. Can you take me through that process of what it was kind of going like in your head to kind of bring your team back?
We were just really taking what the defense were giving me. I made a few shots early, so they started denying me. Got a few open looks. I mean, we played to our strengths. We run our stuff. And the guys kept getting me the ball, so thanks to all the guys for getting me the ball.
Yeah, shout out to the rest of your teammates. I mean, they did a lot of work, too, to help you guys out, get this big win today, keep you guys undefeated. But this is a very tough matchup against Notre Dame. And did you see that physicality early on, even this early in the season?
Yeah, I mean, they're a very good team, and they were hungry because we beat them by 1 point last year. So they were really ready to go, and we prepared the right way and came out strong and walked away with the win.
So what did Coach say in the halftime locker room? I mean, you guys were down 3, then able to get up as many as 16 in that third quarter.
I mean, we just did what we do, if that makes sense. But we just came out, played our game, and dictated the game, and that's how we came away with the win.
Awesome. There you have it. Samson Riley, player of the game today. Thank you so much, Samson.
Well, next up, we're going to have the head coach, Luke Riley of the East Catholic Eagles. They just won for the 5th time here on Mohegan Sun, tying Waterford. Most wins by any school in the state. George, Coach Riley, let's see his thoughts on a big second half from the Eagles.
Coach, it seems like you had a Vince Lombardi-type speech at halftime in that locker room. Take me through what you were telling your guys to help you get that big jump in that third quarter.
You know, we have a lot of veteran guys back there that are, they love the game, they love each other, and they do a lot of the talking at halftime, and we knew we had to make some adjustments, and they were able to do that, and we got a little momentum, and when you have a senior-led team like that, they do a lot of the talking. So I was really proud of the way they responded. It's great to be here in this venue. It's a world-class venue. It's every high school guy's dream to be here. So we cherish the opportunity, and thankful we got out here with a win.
That's what you'd like to hear from the head coach, Lou Riley here, that There's a lot of player development that you saw in that locker room, guys kind of talking things over. Would you say that is your team identity?
Yeah, one of them. We try to hang our hat on a lot of things, but we'll say often that this is a player-led program, and we're all in this together. So we hold each other accountable, and nobody's going to be overly sensitive to people's feedback, and we're going to get it and learn, and that's what great teams do, and we're aspiring to be a great team this season.
Tough matchup early on into this season, second game in. I mean, a tough schedule kind of going forward, but this only is going to build character for a lot of your guys. So how do you go moving forward after a big win like this today?
You got to make it work for you. We played in this game last year, and depending on the outcome, it's like you got to make it work for you. So now, hey, we got a big game under our belt, and we were happy with the way we performed. And, we'll look at the film, and I'm sure there's a lot of things we can clean up, especially this early in the season. So I know the guys will be up for it. I was really happy with the way everybody responded tonight, as I mentioned before. So, hey, we're going to get better. We got some real film against a very, very talented team, and there's a lot of takeaways in there, I'm sure.
I really like your tie, Coach. Kind of matching me a little bit here. Paisley. Well, that's Coach Riley there for you. As East Catholic got a big win today over at Notre Dame. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, George. Yeah, Coach, said it, his team, their identity. And I actually understood what Samson, you were nodding your head. You knew what he meant when do what you do. Talk a little bit about what you think he meant and what Coach meant.
Yeah, it's in the preparation. I mean, Coach Riley's teams and Coach Shea's teams, they're prepared ahead of the game. It's not like all of a sudden we're going to, at halftime, try to do something different that we've never done before. The preparation is embedded in this program year in, year out. And like we addressed, Casey, it started with being more deliberate, passing the ball, movement, off the ball, creating opportunities for easier shots and not just settling for that first quick open three. They did that. Notre Dame took some quick shots that played into their hand. They were able to get out in transition, get the ball underneath, and got themselves a comfortable lead, and that was one of the keys to the game. Notre Dame had to stay in arm's length, and once East got that lead, they were able to dictate the tempo of the game.
Take a look at your freshly squeezed juice for East Catholic and go through them and give them a grade on your three keys.
Travel at the speed limit, I would say first half, C, second half, A+. Can't teach height, well, that definitely came into play for both teams. So both teams, I think, used their length to alter shots around the rim, and East got a lot of second chance opportunities with their length. So definitely an A there. And no ordinary Jones, man, he was as advertised, right? Smooth operator out there. Now, I've heard you use the adjective silky for some players. I mean, man, he was smooth out there. Just didn't force anything. Took a couple threes early in the game that maybe he settled for, but really a facilitator out there. And how about the coach's son? He had been waiting to have this opportunity to play a full game on this court, had the broken foot last year, a minute and a half into his play, and he took advantage of every opportunity he had on this Mohegan Sun floor tonight.
Well, a big win for the East Catholic team, staying the premier program in the state of Connecticut. Notre Dame back to the drawing board, but don't be surprised if we see these teams again later on this season here at Mohegan Sun. Tip-off 6 o'clock. Come on back for Game 2, the St. Bernard Saints and the Daniel Hand Tigers, rematch of last year's Division III semifinal game that Daniel Hand won. A lot of super sophomores on the floor tonight for both schools, but it's going to be some seniors looking to lead the way for the Saints and the Tigers. You're watching Game Day live at the Holiday Classic on theday.com.